Hi and welcome to Outwell and to the Pacific Coast awning from our Smart Air awning collection. It is a caravan awning that's designed to fit caravans between 2.4 metres and 2.55 metres in height. In terms of dimensions, it's 3.5 metres wide and it's 2.5 metres deep, so a really good sized living space within the awning itself. So I'm going to talk you through some of the features on here, but firstly I want to start off by talking about the frame that we use. So in place of your traditional steel or fiberglass frame, what we actually have is an inflatable main tube here, and then 3 inflatable tubes on the inside which are all connected to this, and that forms part of our one-go inflation technology. So what that means is this entire awning can be inflated from one single point where you plug the pump in. So if I just draw your attention to the valves themselves, what you'll find is that quite clearly marked you have an air in valve, which is where you're going to plug the pump in. So that's just underneath here. We just simply unscrew this and attach the pump into this point. And as I say, just from that one single inflation point there, the whole awning will go up quite quickly and easily. To deflate, you have a separate valve just underneath there, and again, quite clearly written on there is air out. So just underneath here is where you'll find that valve to open up, again to allow for quick and easy deflation. Now we do supply a pump with the awning, just like this one here, so it's a double action hand pump, so that means that every time you pull up or push down, you are going to be inflating the tube. On top is a pressure gauge, so you can keep an eye on the pressure of the awning. And what we would recommend is inflating this from between 8.7 and 11.6 psi, which represents between 0.6 and 0.8 bar. So what that actually means is there's quite a lot of air going into these beams, and of course the more air that goes in there, the more solid they become. The more solid they become, the more stable the awning is. In terms of material, what we're using here is our Outex 6000. So we actually have 2 different thicknesses of material. The lighter grey panel here with the embossed logo on it is 150 denier taffeta polyester, and the darker grey material of the roof is a 300 denier taffeta polyester, so really built to last. What you will find is that all of the material has been PU coated all on the inside, and all of the seams have been fully taped all the way around the awning as well. Of course, making it completely waterproof with a hydrostatic head of 6,000 millimeters. So as I say, that's why we call it our Outex 6000. Plenty of other features to talk you through here as well. Large windows all the way around the awning. So when you're in there, that's going to allow lots of light in. But these are tinted windows, so what they do is they, one, reflect a little bit of the glare of the sunshine away from the inside, and secondly is obviously they give you much better privacy as well. We have large, good quality storm guy lines at the front here, which are luminous, so hopefully that will stop you from tripping over them. We use our easy pegging system with this awning, and that's where we supply you with 3 different styles of pegs, like these ones here. So to start off, we have the solid steel anchor pegs here. So these would be for the 4 corners of the awning and would be pegged into the grey pegging points. We have the black plastic peg for all of the black pegging points around the side of the awning. And we have the luminous pegs to go with the luminous storm straps at the front. So all in the name there, the easy pegging system, making sure that it's nice and easy for you to make sure that you're getting the right peg in the right place. So just some other things to highlight. We have mud valances running all the way around the bottom of the awning, just allowing any rainwater to run down and away from the inside. What you will find on the front is a good sized canopy, and this is in place using a Duratec fiberglass pole, which just slides through a sleeve here, and you can see then just easily attaches on either side. And as I say, that creates that good sheltered canopy area, hopefully keeping out any drizzle from the inside of your awning. So the front door is quite a large front door. It can be opened up fully, as we have done here, and we have that rolled away at the moment. You can also see that on the door itself, when it's closed, you do have large windows on there, so you're still going to get views out of the awning and obviously allow light into the awning. So this can be closed over halfway like we have with the mesh door here, or of course it can be fully closed over as well to give you a fully waterproof seal. But a nice feature is this mesh door which sits behind the main door here, so you can see a large mesh ventilation panel which covers this half, and of course there is another one the same for if you had this door completely closed over. Now obviously what that's going to allow is for lots of fresh air into the awning, keeping you nice and cool within the awning itself, but hopefully it's going to keep out those unwanted bugs as well. So if we just step back into the awning itself, one thing I just want to point out from the inside is that one-go inflation technology that I mentioned earlier on. So there are 3 beams that run from the front of the awning up towards the caravan. And as I said earlier on, these are actually all interconnected to the main beam here, which is how we managed to inflate the entire thing from one single position. What you do have though are some valves on the inside just here. And what you can see is this would be in the open position. So once you've inflated the awning, we simply just need to switch this to this position here, and that now separates the main beam from these beams here, and each one of these 3 beams has got one of those valves on there. So what that's for is so that in the very unlikely event of something happening, of course you're then separating all the beams with those valves so that the whole thing's not going to drop down. So a nice feature on this awning is that we have 2 side entrances as well. Now what you will find is that we again have full mesh doors on the inside here, which you can see we just have zipped over at the moment. So again, that's going to allow for great ventilation, but hopefully keep out any bugs. Of course, there is also a waterproof door on the outside as well, which can be zipped over if it gets a little bit too chilly. So I mentioned earlier on that we have windows all the way around us in the awning as well. The windows are tinted, as I mentioned, so that does give you good privacy, but of course if you want more privacy, then each window has its own curtain. So these are just on zips at the sides here, and what that allows actually is for you to choose exactly how much light you're letting into the tent or how much privacy you're getting. So just over here I want to point out we have a lantern hanging point in a good central location at the front of the awning here. And then we have cable tidies which run along that beam there, so that if it's an electric lantern that you have up there, you can keep the cable tidily stowed away. Of course, that's the other side door that I mentioned here, but what I just want to point out while I'm over here is the ground sheet that we use in the awning. So you can actually see that it is a sealed ground sheet. It comes up at the edges, so it's a bathtub style ground sheet. So hopefully that's going to keep out things like drafts, dirt and sand, and again, hopefully keep out the unwanted bugs. Now, this ground sheet here in the main section of the awning can actually be completely zipped out, so it's going to be really great for any campsites that perhaps wouldn't allow you to have a sealed or waterproof ground sheet down on the grass. We can simply just take that zip and unzip this whole ground sheet out completely. So just back here, I also want to highlight that we do supply the awning with the adjustable steel poles at the back here, and you can see behind that is a good padded sleeve to obviously stop any damage from the pole on the caravan itself. But of course that also creates a real good fitting point towards the back. You can see that the pole is just held in place with these Velcro tabs and it slots into the top. And as I mentioned earlier on, it is adjustable in height as well, so that's just your adjuster on there. The caravan awning also has the skirt along the back here, which is hopefully going to again keep out any drafts from this, and obviously that is included with the awning. We have a couple of optional extras available for it, and that would include the fleece carpet that you've just seen on the inside here, just to give you that little bit more comfort underfoot. There's also a footprint available to go underneath the awning, which is made of a very tough and durable PVC coated tarpaulin. Now that's going to be a great optional extra for you if perhaps you're on a hard standing pitch that might have stones or chips underneath, and that's going to give great protection for that ground sheet on that sort of surface. But it's also going to come in handy if you're on a grass surface, because it's going to keep that ground sheet nice and clean and dry for when you take the awning down. So there you have it then. That's all the features of our Pacific Coast awning. Thanks very much for watching.